myself. I should've known to never bring a knife to a gunfight. I should've learned to keep my eyes on the prize. I should've known to never bring a knife to a gunfight.
It's time! It's time! It's Vader time!
Welcome back, everyone. This is day 2 of the Great American Bash. Tony Schiavone with you, along with Stu Mayhem. And already there is a new face for the Great American Bash and the NWA as we have crowned a new world champion. We've got an update on the condition of the Nature Boy Ric Flair and plenty more when we return. All right, welcome back, fans. We are here live from Charlotte, and entering the arena this time, one of the members of the Four Horsemen, Arn Anderson. Yesterday, if you're following us on Twitter, which you can do at Invasion Nation, then you know that currently the Nature Boy Ric Flair has spent the last 24 hours in a hospital. And we expect to hear a little something right now from Arn Anderson, and hopefully an update on the condition, and bear with us here as we find out together.
You know, it's a tough business we are in. And I never had any misconceptions about the fact that every time we step in the ring, it could be a last. What we're doing out here, this ain't ballet. Right now, I just want to tell everybody that Nature Boy Ric Flair is recovering from some pretty serious injuries he sustained last night at the hands of Vader. He spent the last 12 hours in a hospital in Baltimore, Maryland, and just 2 hours ago was able to fly back home to Charlotte. But he is not here in this building tonight, nor will he be a part of the Great American Bash Tour. As the enforcer of the group, and now the lead spokesperson, I've had to ask some pretty serious questions. And as I look around at the horizon here in the NWA, I find myself wondering if maybe it isn't time to call it a day. Now, the four horsemen have ruled the roost here for a very long time, but sooner or later, every empire falls. This is not something I say or suggest or consider easily. So I called upon family to see exactly what we should do. And what we come to the conclusion on is it is time to circle the horses.
Well, I'm not sure what that means exactly. I am sure we're going to find out in the not too distant future. Very cryptic message from the enforcer. All right, fans, welcome back. We're here live from the Charlotte Memorial Coliseum. And already the big news out there is that the Nature Boy Ric Flair will not be a part of the Great American Bash. And we're going to talk about why that is. And I want to warn everybody, we're going to show you some footage that is very graphic. If you have small children in the building, you may want them to step outside of the room right now. As we take a look at Paul Jones' army making its way to the ring, ravishing and raging. As we take a look now at some of the moments from the closing moments of the title match last night. And there you see it, Vader looked like he was going for a powerbomb, but then released Ric Flair, and he went sailing into the middle rope, and you see him right there catching his throat across that middle rope, and then he collapses. We're going to look at it again, close-up, slow motion, and fans, this is like looking at the Zabruta film. It is hard to watch. And when Nature Boy Ric Flair tries to get up and he collapses, we knew it was over at that point in time. So as we just heard from Arn Anderson, the result of that is that he will not be a part of the Great American Bash. He is out for at least 4 weeks. We understand he has a severely sprained neck, has herniated discs, and will not be able to compete until doctors clear him, and they guarantee that will not be in the next 4 weeks. So we have a Great American Bash with a brand new champion and no Nature Boy Ric Flair as the NWA US Tag Team Champions, the Rock and Roll Express, make their way down to the ring for this non-title match. Stu, have you ever seen anything quite like this?
No, I haven't. And I'll tell you right now, watching it last night, we both did. You're calling the action, and when I saw Ric Flair come down on that middle rope, I knew it was over. There's no way anybody, and I mean anybody, comes back from that. It was tremendously damaging blow.
Well, apparently it was extraordinarily damaging to the Nature Boy Ric Flair, and our best wishes go out to him for a speedy recovery. It definitely won't be the same without him, but the show goes on, and that is the nature of this industry as we start this one off here tonight from Charlotte, North Carolina, right in the backyard of Ric Flair, where he was expected to play a major role in this program tonight.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, this is his backyard, literally, figuratively, and everybody expected he'd be here. And what a difference 24 hours makes. I mean, he spent a good part of that in the hospital. And I understand he got tremendous care from the fans over at the Baltimore Memorial. And again, like you said, we just wish him a speedy recovery. We definitely want him back here as part of the NWA. We'd love him back as part of the Great American Bash, but it doesn't appear that that's going to happen. And indeed it doesn't, as Robert Gibson now getting the upper hand on Ravishing Rick Rude. Our first opportunity to see Paul Jones' Army in full force here against top-notch competition. This is a non-title match because it was booked at the last minute, but oh, Robert Gibson just got caught. He was so focused on Rick Rude, he lost sight of Manny Fernandez, and you don't want to do that. Oh, you definitely don't, and he just found out why.
As Gibson fires back, and now back body drop all the way out to the floor he goes. Tag is made now. Ravishing Rick Rude tags out to the Raging Bull Manny Fernandez. Of course, everyone saw what happened to Manny Fernandez recently when he turned his back on the American Dream, Dusty Rhodes, and the Boogie Woogie Man, Jimmy Valiant, former six-man tag team champions, I might say. And I guarantee you during the Great American Bash, there'll be retribution to be paid.
Oh, no doubt about that. I can tell you right now, both of those men that you just mentioned have made it clear they want to get their hands on the Raging Bull one way or another.
Gibson firing his way back, and now he's got the Raging Bull. And he deposits him with a big DDT. Down he goes. Tag made, and here comes Ricky Morton. Walks right into a big power slam. I would definitely say the strength and size advantage will be in favor of the challengers here, even though the title's not on the line. The champions, of course, have always relied on superior tag team technique and ability, and they'll have to do that here as well. As the Raging Bull, Manny Fernandez with a big suplex on Ricky Morton right in the middle of the ring. Morton has really absorbed a lot of punishment early on in this match. And now, nice move by Ricky Morton to get out of danger. Going after the leg now, and down goes the Raging Bull, Manny Fernandez. And there's a diving tag, and Morton makes the tag. Here comes Robert Gibson with a single leg drop kick, and down goes the Raging Bull. Shoulder tackle, and again down goes Fernandez. And another drop kick.
Oh, Robert Gibson comes in, and he was the fresh man, makes the most of it. And now he's turned the tide in this one. Fernandez having a hard time dealing with the Rock and Roll Express at this point. They talk about the size and strength advantage. I'd tell you that Ricky and Robert can probably outrun Manny Fernandez any night. So the longer the match goes, I would think they might get a little bit better advantage.
Nice move right there by Gibson. He went for the cover, but Paul Jones distracting the referee outside the ring. Well, the Midnight Express are not unused to having outside interference during their matches.
Oh, absolutely not. You know, dealing with the Midnight Express as much as they have, they're used to guys like Jim Cornette getting involved, and there's the double drop kick right there. Will that be enough?
Save was made by Rick Rude, otherwise it might have been over. You gotta love the 2K logic that has Robert Gibson leaving the ring rather than trying to intercept the pinfall attempt. And now Ricky Morton going to work, or trying to go to work on Ravishing Rick Rude, but he's on the receiving end now. Rude sent crashing down into the barricade.
Oh, the crowd is on its feet. Ricky Morton sizing up the competition.
Nice move right there by the Raging Bull. Manny Fernandez gets the advantage over Ricky Morton, and he escapes.
Now look what he's doing here, removing the turnbuckle pad. And again makes the tag, and now Ricky Morton with a nice head scissor takedown.
You see Paul Jones outside the ring, and again distracting Ricky Morton. The Raging Bull Manny Fernandez just laid him out. What a fist drop by Ricky Morton, and now there is a steel chair in the ring, courtesy of Paul Jones.
Our referee might want to do something about that.
Another big drop kick by Ricky Morton. And now he sends him into the turnbuckle, and here comes the double team. And there's the Rock and Roll Express drop kick. Robert Gibson hooks the leg.
Well, he had to release it when he realized the Raging Bull Manny Fernandez was going to get involved again. And now both members of the Rock and Roll Express focusing their attention on Ravishing and Raging.
Oh, wait a minute. Rude's got that steel chair. Referee distracted, but look at this. Doesn't see it, and he just struck Rick Rude with it. Robert Gibson just nailed Rude with a chair.
Well, that plan backfired on Paul Jones.
And finally, the referee's going to get that thing out of there. It took long enough. And now, once again, Ravishing Rick Rude has got Robert Gibson up with a textbook suplex in the middle of the ring. I'm not sure about the strategy of Ravishing Rick Rude. Leaning back into the corner, regaining perhaps his composure a little bit. And now, big DDT, and down goes Gibson.
Ravishing Rick Rude just rammed the head of Gibson into the canvas, and you have to wonder, how's he going to deal with that? That's one of those moves that can leave you loopy for a little while.
Gibson back in the ring, and now both men face to face. Gibson with a nice move right there with that jiu-jitsu type throw, taking Rick Rude all the way over. And now Rick Rude going for the Rude Awakening.
Oh, he caught him with it, and that should be all.
He hooks the leg, but he's very close to the ropes.
Also close to the corner, and Ricky Morton was able to make the save, and now the Raging Bull Manny Fernandez just eliminated Ricky Morton.
It is effectively a 2-on-1 right now as Ravishing Rick Rude and Manny Fernandez have Robert Gibson all to themselves. Tremendous suplex, and both men are down.
Ravishing Rick Rude slowly getting up to his feet. That one took a lot out of both men.
Now, Rude decides to take this opportunity to pose for the crowd. Robert Gibson looking to make the tag, but there's nobody there. Morton's still out on the floor. Up in the air he goes. Nice move right there by Robert Gibson. Now we should mention that Ricky Morton was a member of the Battle Bowl teams yesterday. Everyone else was pretty much left untouched. So this is their first night of competition, as Gibson continues to work on the head and the neck area of Ravishing Rick Rude.
Now, you talk about Battle Bowl last night. Ricky Morton's pretty fresh as well, because Bob Eaton was his tag team partner and did the majority of the match.
Well, that's true, but then Ricky Morton was in the Battle Bowl itself, and that was a grueling one. And of course, the biggest note on night, besides the title change, is the fact that Ronnie Garvin is the winner of the Battle Bowl and will have the opportunity on July 30th in Atlanta and the Omni, as Rick Rude has just been split wide open. Garvin will be chasing after the world title on the last night of the Great American Bash. A bloody, ravishing Rick Rude makes the tag, and now Manny Fernandez down across the arm and shoulder. Perhaps a sense of urgency on the part of Ravishing and Raging. And now look at this, Gibson's been busted open.
Well, this is the Great American Bash, and this is one of those things that we see a lot. Very physical competition, 30 days, and everyone's going to be a different person when it's over.
No doubt about it, you won't be the same at the end as you were at the beginning. Going for the powerbomb, and Gibson turns it around and makes the tag to Ricky Morton.
Well, that was out of necessity right there. Call it self-preservation if you want to, but Gibson needed the break.
Fernandez now with a series of moves right there, and Gibson is, and Morton rather, is down. That's a 2 count, and Ricky Morton able to kick out the back. Went for the knee, nobody was home, and now Morton was going, but he got caught. Fernandez, what's he got in mind? Has him up in the air. Ricky Morton escapes. Fireman carry nicely executed right here. Now, the Raging Bull looks like he wanted to make the tag to Rick Rude, but that's not going to happen. And now Morton, what's he going to do? There's a DDT.
He hooks the leg. Will it be enough?
Save made by Rick Rude. And now Ricky Morton going to work on Rude. He couldn't hold him up. DDT.
Robert Gibson managed to get around the referee. He had to go the long way. That's why he couldn't intercept Rude and prevent the break. Otherwise, I think this one would have been over.
Rick Rude just caught Ricky Morton. Fernandez went for the knee. Nobody helped. He caught him with the back elbow. Tag is made. A bloody Rick Rude enters the ring.
Ricky Morton is in trouble.
Morton catching Rude. And an atomic knee drop. Nicely done by Ricky Morton as he continues to keep the Rock and Roll Express in this match. Just when it looked like it might be over.
Well, he rang his bell with that one, and now Ricky Morton will continue.
Does the splits right there. Talk about make a wish. Morton's got him up, down across the knee. Rude wishing he hadn't tagged in now, but there's a lunging tag made, and here comes the Raging Bull. Manny Fernandez right into a hip toss. And now Ricky Morton going up to the top rope. What's he got in mind?
I don't know, but it's high-risk territory here. You're going to find out if it pays off or not. Cross body press. He hooks the leg.
He's got 1. He's got 2. And 3. What a win for the Rock and Roll Express.
Oh, I'll tell you what, that was a great one. The Rock and Roll Express. We look back, here's a double drop kick. Thought that would have been enough.
Well, it might have been if not for the save made. Great job on that replay. There's the Bulldog. We're not going to see the finish, unfortunately. Maybe 2K18 will fix that. Nonetheless, there are your winners, and still the NWA United States Tag Team Champions, the Midnight Express, the Rock and Roll Express, what am I saying? We'll be back with more of the Great American Bash. Stay with us. All right, fans, we're back. Joined now by James E. Cornette. The man who leads the ship, that is the NWA Tag Team Champions, the Midnight Express. And you can only imagine what's on his mind. Well, you know what? We had a match all set ready to go tonight with Arn Anderson and Tully Blanchard. But I found out that these two goofballs, they don't want any part of the Midnight Express. They're crying about the wounds they suffered last night at the hands of Vader. Boo-hoo. But I'm going to tell you all something right now. See, the Midnight Express, well, we ain't the kind of people that go run and hide. See, my mama, she paid good money for me to lead the tag team champions of the world, and this is the Great American Bash. That's exactly what I'm going to do. So I'm telling everybody in the back right now, I don't care who you are. We've got our name on a contract in the back, and if you all get in the ring with the greatest tag team that ever lived, then put your names on there, and you're going to come on out later tonight and step up to the plate. But just understand, you're going to be walking away with the short end of the stick, because my mama don't pay for no losers, you understand? So tonight, you're still going to get your tag team title match. I don't want nobody to go around trying to sue Jim Cornette for promising a tag team title match and then not deserve it. I'm going to bring it. And I'm telling you right now, the Midnight Express, we're going to walk in and we're going to walk out the same exact way as the NWA World Tag Team Championship. Jim Cornette, the NWA Tag Team titles will be on the line, but against who? All right, fans, we are back. And it is time for one of those matches that is going to bring the building down, no doubt about it. We take a look at Mean Mark Callis. He was one of the final three men in the Battle Bowl last night, and I thought he was going to make it to the end. Final four, actually. I believe he was eliminated by Sting towards the end of the match. But tonight, he turns the page and brings his attention back to his former tag team partner, Sid Vicious, and these are two monstrous men. They had a brief run after the Midnight Express and the tag team titles, but they couldn't get the job done.
Well, there's nothing to be ashamed of with that, because nobody's been able to stop the Midnight Express. Although what we just saw Jim Cornette do is always a very dangerous gamble. Obviously, he has all the confidence in the world in his team. But to not know who you're going up against, and not for anything, there's a lot of guys in that locker room would love the opportunity to hand some punishment out to Stan Lane and Bob Eaton.
Well, that's absolutely 100% true. I don't know who's going to take on the assignment, but we're going to find out later tonight. In the meantime, when you want to talk about handing out punishment, Sid Vicious making his way to the ring, and these two men, it's no holds barred, fans. Anything they want to do, anywhere they want to go, it's all legal.
That's right. The only real rule is pinfall or submission, and it has to happen in the ring.
The Great American Bash continues to go through this country like a hot knife through butter. Tomorrow morning, we'll be in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania at the Veterans Stadium. The Boogie Woogie Band, Jimmy Valiant, will be challenging the world champion. Will it be Barry Windham or will it be Vader? We don't know that until tomorrow, or at least later tonight. The next night will be in Washington, D.C. at the United Center, and Bobby Eaton will have an opportunity at the world title.
And the list just goes on, and it is a tremendous time right now here in the NWA.
All right, bell sounds. This one is underway. No holds barred, fans, with a couple of guys that know how to fight with no holds barred.
Well, each of these guys getting over the 300-pound mark, topping out just under 7 foot tall.
Sid goes for the slam. Mark comes out the back door, neck breaker, and down goes Sid Vicious. And now he's got a steel chair, and again, it's legal. Oh, he caught him right upside the head with it.
Wow, I'll tell you, Sid's having a lot of trouble after that shot to the head.
I'm not sure why he got rid of the chair. It was working pretty well for him. Sid's been dazed, and he's having a lot of trouble right now after that headshot.
Well, Mean Mark showing he's not going to pull any punches in this one.
This has been over 4 weeks in the making, wrestling fans. We've been counting down the days. These two men went into a back alley brawl backstage one night after a show went off the air. We showed you the highlights of that one.
Yeah, Sid was about to get thrown off of a semi-tractor trailer in the backstage area, but then at the last minute turned the page and ended up having Mean Mark go flying down to the concrete floor below.
Well, some retribution perhaps here by Mean Mark Callis, who feels he was left out in the cold during the tag team title match. And right now, Callis with the advantage over Vicious, and there's a big splash. Goes for the cover, doesn't hook the leg, and I doubt you're going to get a win without doing the leg.
No, you've got to hook the leg on a guy like Sid Vicious. Give me a break.
Mean Mark Callis hammering down on the head of Sid Vicious. Back elbow. And another. And another. Down he goes. And now Sid has got him by the back. Drapes him over the top rope and slingshots him back into the middle of the ring.
Well, the momentum right now definitely going with Sid Vicious as he works the trapezius area.
Snapmare again takes him over. And working the head and the neck area of Mean Mark. Back body drop, and Sid takes that one. Well, perhaps it's near the end. Mean Mark Callis seems to figure it is. We've seen him use that heart punch with a lot of success.
Well, it's that against the power bomb, and we know that Sid Vicious hits you with that power bomb, and the match is usually over.
That's right. Shoulder block just sent Callis crashing hard to the concrete floor. Crowd here in Charlotte really getting their money's worth, and we're only 2 matches in. Callis again into the steps. Look at this. Sid Vicious driving his head into the concrete floor. And again, it's all legal. There are no countouts. They can take this fight all the way to the crowd if they want to. And he's busted him wide open. Marcellus is spewing blood.
They used that steel guardrail, and again, it's all legal.
And now Callis throwing Vicious into the steps here ringside. And again, no love lost between these two monsters. Fans, one of the names that will be competing for the world title during the Great American Bash is Sid Vicious. Whoever the champion is will be happy to see this match, because with any luck whatsoever, me and Marcellus might be able to do some damage to Vicious that'll make him a more manageable opponent down the line.
Can you imagine Vicious against Vader?
Oh, I'm already thinking about it. Big choke slam, and now hooks the leg, and will that be enough? It's over! Just like that, Sid Vicious gets the pinfall on Mean Marcellus and gets the win.
Well, it was no holds barred, and they didn't waste the opportunity. As we look back at the choke slam now heard round the world.
There is your winner, Sid Vicious. And you have to wonder what's next for Marcellus.
I'm not sure if we've heard the end of this one or not, but that was a decisive victory for Sid Vicious.
Fans, stay with us. Plenty more action here from the Great American Bash. We'll be back. All right, fans, we are back. And the Great American Bash continues. The six-man tag team title is on the line. We see two of the three making their entrance together. The Russians, Ivan and Nikita. I'm a little surprised that we don't see their partner, Kevin Sullivan, with them, but I know he's here. Well, he is an honorary member right now of the Russian army. Agreeing to fight by their side, they took those titles away from the American Dream, Dusty Rhodes, the Boogie Woogie Man, Jimmy Valiant, and Manny Fernandez. Not without some help, though. That's when Manny Fernandez turned his back on his friends and his country. And again, there will be a price to be paid for that during the Great American Bash. I can guarantee you that. The American Dream, Dusty Rhodes, right now has set his sight on taking the six-man tag team titles back to America. Well, that's definitely his number one goal as we take a look at the third member of the six-man tag team champions, Kevin Sullivan. Prince of Darkness himself here in the NWA has wasted no time whatsoever aligning himself with two of the most powerful individuals here in the NWA, Ivan and Nikita Koloff. That is what they're going to be fighting for, ladies and gentlemen, right there. The NWA six-man championship title. And now let's meet the opposition. The American Dream, Dusty Rhodes, making his way down. Oh, this crowd fired up for the American Dream, and what says the Great American Bash better than the American Dream, Dusty Rhodes? Hot dogs, hamburgers, and the American Dream, no doubt about it. He has made it his mission to take those titles back from the Russian army, and he believes he's got the men with him to get it done. Here comes the man who won the Battle Bowl 24 hours ago, the Hands of Stone, Ronnie Garvin. And if you're trying to pick a tag team partner, you're not going to do too bad with this one. Absolutely not. Ronnie Garvin, in some cases, maybe shocked the world. I don't know if I would be so shocked. But he's done what he needed to do. He's guaranteed himself a title match at the end of the match in the Omni. And he might have the six-man tag team titles to go with it. Oh, here comes the six-man superstar Billy Graham. Well, there he is, the superstar himself, former World Heavyweight Champion. Dusty Rhodes put out the call, and he knows whether you like Graham or not throughout his career, he is an American and proud of it. And when it comes down to the Russians, he's got no love for them. Absolutely not. This is going to be a six-man war. Forget tag team. Title is on the line, ladies and gentlemen. Dusty Rhodes ready in one corner. Ivan Koloff in the other. Bell rings and we're underway. Koloff wasting no time. He caught him with a sickle.
Oh, he caught him right, and now Dusty Rhodes turns it around and has one on his own.
Billy Graham trying to get this crowd up and motivated. I don't think they're going to need much help with that. Backhand, knife edge chop, and now the American Dream, Dusty Rhodes, going to work on the Russian Bear. Stiff forearm shots right to the lower back near the kidneys. Again, this is not amateur wrestling. This is not ballet. This is why we've already got a list of injuries here in the NWA as part of the Great American Bash. These men hold nothing back. Night in and night out. Only the strong survive.
And even then, sometimes they don't.
Oh, he's going for the pile driver, and Graham just caught all of that. One of the most deadly moves in professional wrestling.
Oh, now he's got a claw hold on him. We don't see that from Ivan Koloff very often, but he's cinching it in deep.
Referee is asking Graham if he wants to give it up.
No way. No way. Superstar Billy Graham is never going to surrender to Ivan Koloff.
Yeah, when you look at wrestling history, these two men were big in the WWF. Graham was the world champion shortly after Ivan Koloff. Both men were big names on the roster back at that point in history, but they did not face each other until right now.
Definitely a historic mating tag is made right there, and in comes Kevin Sullivan and the Dark Prince. Inverted atomic knee drop, and that's going to take its toll on anybody.
Yeah, there's no way to work out that particular area, not to make it stronger. Sullivan now with Superstar Billy Graham. Snapmare takes him down. Sullivan, a very stocky build. Tremendous ground technician. Not that he'll ever use it half the time. He's one of the most vile creatures inside the ring. Often resorts to breaking of the rules. Takes great pride in it.
Not true that, but he also has a pretty good win-loss record, and there's that double foot stomp.
And then one of the other moves that he'll like to pull out, and I wouldn't be surprised if we see it here tonight, is that Asian spike. That thumb to the throat, which we have seen put many a man down. Sullivan driving the knee into the back of the head of Billy Graham. Now he fights him off. And Superstar Billy Graham manages to get out of there. Tag is made, and in comes the American Dream, Dusty Rhodes, and he and Kevin Sullivan have a long history with each other.
Absolutely. Throughout the state of Florida, those two men feuded up and down the coast.
Indeed they did. Town to town, coast to coast. No love lost, and they know each other very well. Sullivan now with a big right hand, turns him around. He's got the American Dream, Dusty Rhodes, with an atomic knee drop. Big scoop slam on the Dream. And now Kevin Sullivan is going for the pile driver. There it is.
He caught him with it, and that's a bad situation right there for the Dream.
Punt right to the ribs. See Ronnie Garvin trying to stir things up here. Sullivan attacking the injured leg of the American Dream, Dusty Rhodes. No surprise or secret at the history of that leg.
Oh, and again, that double stomp right to the midsection of Dusty Rhodes. And not for anything, he's not built like Ronnie Garvin or Superstar Billy Graham. He doesn't have the washboard abs, which means it's a little bit harder for him to absorb a shot like that.
Well, he's still in this match, and there's the tag made, and for the first time, we'll get a look at the Battle Bowl champion, Ronnie Garvin, the man with the hands of stone. One right hand away from becoming one member of the NWA six-man tag team champions. Statmare takes him down. Garvin working the head and the neck. And now Superstar Billy Graham trying to get this crowd up. Won't take much, I can tell you that right now. Pile driver.
Wow, he shot out of there like a cannon. The impact Kevin Sullivan made with the canvas.
And there's impact with that right hand, and Sullivan's out cold. Hooks the leg. We might have new tag team champions right here.
Oh, the Russians make the save, and he took out the referee. Nikita Koloff just blasted the referee, or it would have been over.
I have to agree with that 100%. Ronnie Garvin with that right hand knocked Sullivan out cold. And now the referee's starting to get back to his feet here as Sullivan with another pile driver. Garvin's shoulders are down.
Only gets two, and we see Nikita Koloff on the floor right now.
Ivan Koloff gets the tag back in by Kevin Sullivan. The man who will be challenging the world champion on July 30th, live from the Omni. Down right now as the Russian Bear continues to attack. Reverse knife edge chop. Here's the Irish whip. Into the turnbuckle he goes, and now Ivan Koloff in the wrong part of town. There's a tag made. And the American Dream, Dusty Rhodes. What's going to happen here? Rocket launcher.
Cross body block, 300 pounds across the chest and torso of the Russian Bear.
And now Ivan Koloff with an arm drag gives him an opportunity and some separation. But he does not look to tag out.
That could be a costly mistake now. Oh, man, these two guys really trading heavy blows.
And now Dusty Rhodes teeing up on the Russian Bear. Down goes Koloff. The American Dream, Dusty Rhodes standing over his opponent, but I don't know why. He should be doing something here.
Dusty Rhodes sizing him up, and I think it may be.
I don't know, but Koloff has thoughts of his own. And now he's got him in the bear hug. The referee asking Dusty Rhodes if he's had enough. It's over.
Well, I've got to tell you, I am very surprised. I wouldn't have thought Dusty Rhodes would have tapped out.
When Ivan Koloff puts that bear hug on you, there's only so much time you have. You feel that squeeze on your rib cage and your abdomen. You have a hard time getting air in, and I've talked to men who've had that move applied to them by the Russian Bear. And the way they describe it, it is not pleasant at all. Tremendous win for the Russian Army and their tag team partner, Kevin Sullivan. Still six-man tag team champions, ladies and gentlemen. We'll be back with more of the Great American Bash. Who's going to challenge the tag team champions? We'll find out when we come back. All right, fans, we're about to find out who it is going to be that's going to challenge the Midnight Express for the NWA World Tag Team Championship. Jim Cornette left an open contract. Wait a minute.
Is that what I... Oh, take a look at this.
Gorgeous Jimmy Garvin and Michael P.S. Hayes. The fabulous Freebirds.
Well, we haven't seen the Freebirds in a very long time, but that was when it was Terry Bam Bam Gordy and Buddy Roberts.
They lost a match against the Horsemen for those six-man tag team titles, in which they had to disband, but Jimmy Garvin was not a part of the Freebirds at that time.
Well, it looks like Michael P.S. Hayes may be putting the band back together in some way. This is a very dangerous opportunity. If you're James E. Cornette, you must be absolutely livid.
Well, he said he would leave an open contract. That's a dangerous game to play because you never know who's going to step outside the curtain.
Their debut in the Great American Bash, and they may walk away with the tag team titles. You want to talk about making history here at the Great American Bash? We could be looking at it 2 nights in a row.
Well, James E. Cornette coming down with his team, the Midnight Express. They are the tag team champions, and he feels awfully confident.
Well, that better not be mixed with overconfidence, because he's got one of the toughest challenges anybody could have put in front of him.
The Midnight Express, they are the NWA World Tag Team Champions. Will they still be at the end of the night? Or does that ride end right here in Charlotte? That is what they are fighting for.
Indeed, and again, I just can't believe that a man with the knowledge and the wrestling wherewithal of Jim Cornette would leave an open contract with the level of talent that exists here in the NWA. Now, who would have thought about these two? I wouldn't have. We have seen Michael Hayes sporadically since the Freebirds disbanded. We have not seen Jimmy Garvin in many weeks. And, of course, last year he was a huge part of the Great American Bash, becoming the world champion.
Well, wouldn't that be the perfect Great American Bash for him if he became this year part of the World Tag Team Champions?
Well, there they are. Stan Lane and Bob Eaton feeling pretty confident, I think, right now as the tag team champions. But again, if you are not taking these Freebirds very seriously, then you are going to be in for a long night.
All right, looks like Jimmy Garvin's going to start off against Bobby Eaton. Wow, what an event. This could have been the main event tonight.
It could have been. Again, it was supposed to be Arn Anderson and Tully Blanchard. Tully Blanchard not physically able to compete tonight. Arn Anderson made it clear that he doesn't know what the status is of the Four Horsemen.
Garvin going to work on the leg of beautiful Bobby to start this one off. Tell you what, ladies and gentlemen, the Great American Bash, as it goes throughout the many cities here in the United States, this tour is going to be bringing some of the most unbelievable action each and every night. Title matches every single night. And as we've already alluded to, these wrestlers put their bodies through all sorts of physical damage, and titles are going to change hands. There's no two ways about it. Champions have the toughest schedule of everybody.
You're no tights off when you're the champions. Whether it's tag team, United States television, it makes no difference. You have got the toughest schedule up and down the card when you're wearing the gold here in the NWA.
All right, tag made, and now we get a look at Sweet Stan Lane, and Jim Cornette paying very close attention to this one because he realizes he may have opened his mouth and wrote a check that he can't cash.
But you know what we've got to acknowledge is that the Midnight Express have been the tag team champions for over 9 months. I mean, they have dominated every team in the NWA. And they've been up against the best of them, the Rock and Roll Express, the Road Warriors, and the list goes on, and nobody has been able to stop them.
Yeah, one way or another, they've always found a way to come out on top, and that's what they've done the best. And they continue to do that right here. We talk about the NWA World Champion and the run that he's going to have to come through the Great American Bash, and already Ric Flair wasn't able to make it through night one. Vader's going to have to take that mantle now and see if he can run with it through the end of the month. But don't think the tag team champions aren't going to have pretty much the same schedule.
Yeah, for the most part, you'll see those titles on the line on a regular basis. And if any team is capable of going 30 days straight, I would say it would be the Midnight Express based on what they've done thus far.
Well, I'll tell you right now, it could come to an end right here. Michael PSA is trying to draw submission from Stan Lane, but Lane gets out quickly, and Hayes falls right back up. Of course, Michael Hayes, well known in the Texas area, was a major player for world-class championship wrestling. Bobby Eaton now coming out with that sledgehammer, and down goes Hayes, and down again. And now Bobby Eaton from the middle rope. What's he going to do here? Elbow right to the head. I'm going to be very interested to see what the Crockett's say about the Midnight Express, about the Fabulous Freebirds reforming here. There was a contractual obligation for them to split, but again, Jimmy Garvin was not a part of that group.
Yeah, I don't know that the name should matter. I mean, you can't tell Michael Hayes he can't find a new partner, and the name is just a name. It was the team that had to split up.
Well, he comes off the middle rope, nobody home, and now Michael Hayes with, once again, the opportunity. Eaton's in the wrong corner. Tag is made. Jimmy Garvin comes in, and now the Fabulous Freebirds with a double team. Bobby Eaton stretched out there. Down across the arm he goes. Gorgeous Jimmy Garvin drops him across the top rope, and down goes Bobby Eaton. Ramming the head of Bobby Eaton into the turnbuckle.
Oh, Bobby Eaton doesn't know where he is after that. He is dazed.
And he kicks his way out of that. Garvin goes down after a boot to the face, but fighting right back with a shot to the midsection. That might be a little low. There's a DDT, and it could be over.
Gorgeous Jimmy Garvin with the DDT on Bobby Eaton, but he doesn't go for the cover, and I don't know why. I would have tried to put it away.
Lunging tag is made by Bobby Eaton, and here comes Sweet Stan Lane. Jim Cornette fit to be tied. Lane trying to save the tag team titles.
Oh, wait a minute. This could be a problem here. Brain Buster, he caught him with it.
That's what won him the World Championship a year ago. Referee is there. There's the count. 1, 2. We've got new tag team champions.
Unbelievable.
Fans, it has happened. History made here at the Great American Bash. Charlotte, North Carolina, the setting. We take a look back at the replay.
The double team, and here was a sharp DDT that set it up. And here's Lane, the brain buster. Down he goes. Jim Cornette's overconfidence comes back to bite him.
There's the 3 count, ladies and gentlemen. We've got brand new NWA Tag Team Champions. The Fabulous Freebirds, Michael PSAs, and Jimmy Garvin.
Well, I'll say one thing. The Great American Bash has been very good to Jimmy Garvin.
Without question, fans, the world title on the line. We're going to get to see the brand new heavyweight champion, Big Van Vader, in action, defending against Sweetwater, Texas's very own Barry Windham. All right, fans, we are back, and it is time for the World Heavyweight Championship. We're going to see Barry Windham going up. Wait, hold on a minute. Wait. Somebody want to tell me what the hell is going on here? We need time for no match against no Freebirds. Freebirds ain't supposed to even be allowed here anymore. They lost their match. They're supposed to be gone. You can't be bringing no Freebirds in here. I'm going to take this all the way up to the top. You ain't heard the last of the Midnight Express. All right, Jim Cornette, fit to be tied. And he says he's going to bring this one to the top. We'll see what happens with that. But in the meantime, here comes the champion's challenger, Barry Windham.
Well, Barry Windham, a lot of people thought would be facing Ric Flair here tonight, and that would have been one for the record books as well. But instead, the Sweetwater native is going to be going up against the new NWA World Heavyweight Champion, the Monster, Big Van Vader.
Well, I'll tell you right now, Barry Windham is every bit capable of giving Vader the match of a lifetime here tonight. The question is, will he be able to get it done? Vader is an unstoppable monster right now.
Oh, I'd agree with that wholeheartedly. And there it is, our first look at him with the belt.
24 hours removed from the Battle Bowl. He did not just beat Ric Flair, he's eliminated Ric Flair.
Indeed, he has.
Fans, if you weren't with us earlier, Ric Flair will not be a part of the Great American Bash as a result of the injuries he sustained 24 hours ago at the hands of this man, Big Van Vader, in their title match.
Well, it is Vader time.
It is, no doubt about it. We take a quick look back at the injury that took place 24 hours ago. You see Flair with his neck snapped down. We'll take one more look here in slow motion. Caught on that middle rope, and that was it. Vader, the NWA World Heavyweight Champion. Who can stop this man?
Well, the question really is he a man? I mean, he is truly a monster. He went through all members of the Horsemen by himself to earn the title match, and then got through the champion to claim the championship.
Yeah, I can't think of anybody else that could have made that challenge and then had been successful when it was over. I mean, it's just absolutely unbelievable. There is the challenger, Barry Windham.
And there's the champion, the man known as Vader.
The look on the face of the champion as he hands over the world title, as he will have to do some 24 additional nights here during the Bash if he's successful. All right, we wait for the bell, and this one's on their way. It's official. Windham hooks up. Goes to a Russian leg sweep, and down goes the champion. Wasting no time is Barry Windham.
Well, Barry Windham saw what happened like we all did, and he has a professional history with Ric Flair. I mean, not necessarily a big fan, but a respect definitely exists, and I think he is really upset with what Vader did to Flair last night.
Windham going to work on the champion, and Vader looks like he's in trouble.
Well, he fought his way back up, and oh!
Well, that might be all she wrote right there. That clothesline turned Barry Windham inside out. Follows up with the elbow. And now Vader has him, and he bridges back that form of the camel clutch. Windham manages to escape it, and that's not an easy thing to do. Irish whip setting Vader to ropes, and now Barry Windham with a drop down. Back out front, and both men collide. Windham has got him on the top rope, and now choking him out. Look at Barry Windham.
Well, Barry Windham knows he's not going up against the choir boy. He's not going up against somebody who has much in the way of respect for the rules. So he's going to attack first, and why not?
Barry Windham now going all the way up to the top rope, waiting on Vader. And down across the back. He goes for the cover, way too close to the ropes, though.
Well, Vader didn't need the ropes. He kicked out of that one.
Barry Windham now going to work on the head and the neck area. But I'll tell you what, when you look at the way Vader's put together, how much damage do you really think that's going to do?
Probably not as much as Windham would like.
Now Windham going to work on the leg. Oh, he's going to go with a figure four. He's got it. Figure four leg lock is on by Barry Windham. We could be looking at a new champion unless Vader can get out, and he does.
He just bowled his way out of that one, and now the champion has the challenger.
He's got him up in the air, and a big suplex. Down goes Barry Windham. And Windham smartly rolling out to the apron.
Well, he's on the apron right now. Now the question is, can he get back in the ring?
And he caught Vader. Vader now back in control. Windham is in the corner, and he's in trouble. Coast to coast, and now into the corner he goes. Oh, Vader got stunned.
But he caught Windham with an arm drag, and that took him down. There's one.
And Barry Windham out the back door. I'll tell you right now, Barry Windham understanding exactly what's at stake. The NWA World title, something that he holds very near and dear. He thought he'd be facing Ric Flair for that title here tonight, and I think he wanted Ric Flair. Flying head scissors, nicely done by Barry Windham. Well, trying to rile this crowd up, which is all well and good, but is that going to get the thing done? I don't know. Barry Windham going for the brain claw. He's got Vader. He's had success with this. Of course, this is the family heirloom passed down from Blackjack Mulligan, his father. It will not be easy to get it away from Vader, however. Vader is fighting his way back up, and he's got Barry Windham in trouble. Windham blocks the attack. And now Barry Windham ready to go. Vader caught the shot, and boy, did he retaliate. Windham manages to fight him off. Big elbow drop now, over 300, near 400 pounds down on Windham. Oh, there it is again, that camel clutch cinched in. Barry Windham's going to have to stay ahead of the curve. And he does. Windham trying to tie up with Vader with no luck whatsoever, and now Vader's got him. Press and drops him down across the top rope. Well, a variation of what he did to Ric Flair. Now, there are a lot of people that are asking the question about what happened last night. Was it an accident or was it deliberate? Vader now going for the Vader bomb on Windham. And he got him. Barry Windham fighting his way out of this thing. He has taken Vader's best, and he's still in the fight. Oh, again, the champion, just too much for the challenger right here. Barry Windham slowly getting to his feet, and Vader's got him up. This could be the Vader powerbomb, and I think it is. He got him. Windham is lifeless in the middle of the ring. The champion hooks the leg. 1, 2, 3, and it's over. Your winner and still the NWA World Heavyweight Champion, ladies and gentlemen, Big Van Vader. Well, this is unusual, a sign of respect by Vader. And Windham, raising the hand of the champion, perhaps has gained some level of respect. I'm a little surprised. Well, and it's 2K, everybody shows respect in 2K. Fans, we want to thank you for joining us tonight for the Great American Bash, night number 2. We'll be back tomorrow with more great action here from the Great American Bash. Join us, won't you, right here on the Nation Network.